I'd love to be a person who is never angry, never bears hurt feelings, never feels resentful, and always lets go of everything I ought to let go of. But I'm not, sadly and really. So I have a short prayer that I sometimes say to myself, which goes like this: may the sweet juices inside me prove stronger than the bitter juices. Because I absolutely, for my own good, don't want to become a person who harbours resentments and has some sort of growing knot of bitterness in my mind. That is a kind of internal poison that I don't want to become part of. Judaism, I think, like other religious structures, is enormously helpful. It puts forgiveness on the daily agenda by including a prayer for forgiveness 3 times a day in the daily prayer one is obliged to say. We ask God to forgive us, and the implication is, if we want to be forgiven, we have to forgive. That's daily. Within the calendar, there's a focal time of the year around the Day of Atonement, and one spends the period before that thinking closely and deeply about how one can be reconciled with one's fellow human beings, because if one can't do that, what's the meaning of reconciliation with God? So my Judaism is very helpful to me in providing a close and constant structure which reminds me of the task of forgiveness. But of course, it can't do that for me. The inner work has to be mine. I think in the transactions of forgiveness, wanting to re-engage in the relationship and finding understanding for where the other person has come from are essential. And I'll finish with reference to the most cited verse in the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament. In the Hebrew Bible, it goes like this: "You shall not seek vengeance, nor bear a grudge, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord." You shall love your neighbor as yourself has so many meanings, but the one I was thinking of in this context is that when I'm struggling, when I feel something's gone wrong, I tell the story to myself again and again and again. Did I do this? I try to exculpate myself. Maybe I inculcate myself. I tell the story again and again to see myself. If I love my neighbor as myself, I need to do it from their point of view. To move from a feeling of anger or hurt to a feeling of understanding, which I think is the essence of forgiveness. I am the Lord. To me, that's about perspective. In the wonder and richness of life, in which there is great beauty and immense pain and unjust suffering, what I am the Lord says to me is my own particular hurt so important that I should hang on to it in the face of so much wonder? But something I often think of in the Dhammapada, which is a Buddhist text, I think, is the saying near the beginning: "He insulted me, he hurt me, he defeated me, he robbed me. Those who think such thoughts will not be free from hate. Those who think not such thoughts will be free from hate." And that's the struggle.
I think from where I'm coming from the tradition that I'm part of, that forgiveness is about relationship. It's about the fact that we are flawed individuals, and I guess that if one thing the Catholic Church is known for, it's known for what can sometimes seem an obsession with sin, and that forgiveness is really about knowledge as well. If you say to somebody, "Forgive me," you know that you've done something that needs forgiveness. There are many times when people are extremely cross with you and you are oblivious, absolutely oblivious, which is really the most worrying side of forgiveness, I guess, is when you don't even know that you really should be asking for it. One of the things that's so important with forgiveness that Pope Francis has been talking about over over again. I've never heard anybody who's a leader in the Catholic Church ever speak so much about mercy. And mercy is what when we are asking for forgiveness, I guess we hope for. But the thing about mercy is that it is something which suggests a forgiveness that's overflowing. But it's not just something that's very reluctant that's given to you. It's something that is generous-hearted. Now, it's all very well to talk about being generous-hearted, or thinking people should be generous-hearted, when you're talking about forgiveness in the abstract. But forgiveness can be very tough. And I think one of the problems about God being involved in forgiveness for many people is that if you've had wrong done to you, and then you're led to believe that a person thinks that God has forgiven them, that could be really offensive. Think of somebody who, for example, has been sexually abused as a child, say by a priest, and as they understand it, that priest has sought forgiveness from God. And I think that could be really hurtful, could make them really very angry. The idea that this person can gain forgiveness in some other way, not just from you. So I think that's when God can make the whole situation much more difficult. Do you need God to forgive? I would say yes, apart from that caveat I just made. But I think one reason why God can be helpful when it comes to forgiveness is that some people are unbelievably harsh on themselves. And if God can help them cope that bit more and start again, then I can see that God has a really powerful part to play.
The greatest mystical poet is Rumi, and he's well known in the West. And he talks a lot about this. One of his couplets, the meaning is, he says, if you complain at every single bash that you get in life, he said, how will your soul ever be ironed out? How will the wrinkles in your soul ever be ironed out? If you get very angry every time there's an insult, or somebody's rude to you, or somebody harms you, or hurts you. And I must admit, I found that very inspiring, because I'm not as good as Jonathan, right? I'm even more kind of angry and get provoked and find it difficult to let go and forgive. I find that, but it's teaching the people like Rumi who kind of keep me going to say, well, who am I to complain about this? The greatest mystical poet in Islam is Rumi. The greatest mystical writer is Ibn Arabi, who was from Spain, and he's easily known as the greatest sheikh. He says God and human beings have this kind of close relationship, and in fact everything God does is through human beings, if you like, or through creation, and therefore in that sense you don't need God to forgive, because forgiveness is conditional on human forgiveness. And that's a well-known principle in Islamic teachings, which is that if you've sinned between yourself and God, then you ask God for forgiveness. But if you've hurt other people in that process, then you must ask forgiveness from the other people also, and put right those debts, etc. Because God's forgiveness is conditional on their forgiveness. And that would be the situation with a priest or imam or rabbi or whoever, anybody abusing children, etc. It's simply not enough. It's not enough to ask God for forgiveness. Islamic theology would say, and I'm sure actually Judaism and Christianity would agree, that God's forgiveness there is conditional on the forgiveness or putting right the wrongs to the human beings who have been wronged there. I'm honoured to be patron or trustee of 3 different charities working to build bridges between Israel and Palestine, and I visited those lands for the first time last August. And there's so much inspiration and hope there, but what is very sad is the intense hatred and grudges and misunderstanding and unwillingness to engage or try to understand each other, which we see sometimes from the Israelis and Palestinians, or Arabs, Jews, Muslims and Jews, etc. And it seems to me that we can't expect a population of millions and millions of people to all forgive each other, but we can try to get their leaders, people who are leading these nations and countries, sometimes they just make the thing worse, the conflict worse, by holding on all sorts of petty grievances and grudges. And really, they do have to set a better example sometimes. And I think that's something we can work on.